Hello, and
Welcome.
welcome to
Alternate
Fucking
Casuals.
What makes you
fucking
casual?
it don't matter.
What you know,
Fucking
All right, ready to rock.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
Let's fucking roll. The ultimate fucking casuals. We are back up in your ears. Joined by Nathan, Isaac. The homies have assembled to talk. Oh, MMA question mark? It's pretty sparse in the coming weeks, but we'll do our best. Nathan, Isaac. Nathan, how are you doing? You're riding cloud 9 at the moment.
I'm doing great. I just got back from a fishing tournament, and we actually cashed a check for once. So, gotta tell the fiance that I'm a provider, and every next time I go fishing, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to work, babe. Like, this is how I'm putting food on the table. So,
In that bag.
This is professional development.
What was your biggest catch?
it was like about a 3.25 pound largemouth bass. That was only. Normally these tournaments they're largemouth only, but if the lake has them, you can weigh in smallmouth, and there's like maybe 4 lakes in Texas that actually have smallmouth, but our bag actually had 4 of those guys. So we had 4 smallmouth and then my 1 big largemouth.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So very fun fishing. Don't get to do anything like that often, so that was a good time.
Yeah.
It's pretty relaxing.
Isaac, you riding any dubs?
Dude, I have a job interview. That I'm going to be having in the coming weeks. So, yeah, I've been preparing for that. You know, we're about to start collecting these paychecks now, hopefully.
I don't know if this counts as an L or what, but I'm going to be moving soon. Sold my house, and market's up right now, so things came out pretty nicely for me.
That's a W.
That's definitely not an L. That's a big.
Yeah, that's a W.
I like this house though. I've been here for like 13 years.
Oh, the attachment though.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Like I put a lot of time into it.
And hopefully the next house is also chill.
Yeah, gonna have to rent for a little while, but it's all right. You know what else was a dub? Motherfucking Naoya Inoue. This is from the boxing side of the street. You may or may not remember that abysmal weekend that was May 2nd, 3rd, and then Inoue on the 4th. 2nd and 3rd were just, I don't know, what's a good way to describe how I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
It really was a complete disaster. I would say a complete disaster. Like, given the star power that was allegedly going to be on display for us, like there was zero excitement on those 2 days of boxing, which is, I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's tough to do when you have Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia in back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I mean, for the amount of money they spent for those 2 events on the 2nd and then the 3rd, you can pretty much just say they were a failure as far as like, you know, entertainment goes. I mean, because they were not entertaining.
Yeah, the Times Square card for sure was a failure. That's, I think, the first time I've ever fallen asleep watching a card. It was so boring. God, even for like Teofimo Lopez, it looked like the pound-for-pound talent that he has the potential to be. Even that wasn't as exciting as you might have hoped for someone who has his opponent so outclassed. I would have expected a little bit more excitement from that. But
yeah, dude. Luckily though, our boy Inoue, dude, he clutched May 4th.
Big time.
Insane fight.
His co-main, Rafael Espinoza. The opponent was less than, I don't know, it wasn't like a star or anything like that, or a fellow champ or whatever, but still, he got the job done in exciting fashion. The guy's like 6'2", fights at 126. So if you'd like to see a little bit of a novelty, he's a good one to check out.
Yeah, Espinosa looks really dangerous, man. He keeps getting better as well. I feel like I'm not sure what his plans are, as far as like moving up in weight or remaining at 126. But man, he's a very good fighter.
So something I had when I talked to Shinada about this, it was I pointed out that there's a glaring problem in Naoya Inoue. For as awesome as he is, pound for pound, top three, it's any of those three spots you can justify, given the talent that he's around his peers. And the problem is that he gets caught with the same fucking punch. This is the second time he's gone down from it. And he keeps getting caught with it, and I keep thinking his next fights are MJ Akhmadaliev and Junto Nakatani. Those are not types you want to be getting caught with, getting a flush left as you come in a little too aggressive. I don't know. Am I making a mountain out of a molehill, or is it that big of a problem?
I mean,
I think when you're... Oh, go ahead, Isaac.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I mean, it's sort of hard to, like, compare, like, like you're doing, like, the boxing math or, I mean, we talk about, like, MMA math, but, I mean, whenever you get hit with, like, these reoccurring shots, I mean, they're just sort of, like, glaring weaknesses, I guess, in a way. Like, we do see... Part of that is seeing like Inoue's strength, of recovery. He was able to take a shot, survive, like recuperate, and then rally back to get a finish. But I mean, the thing is, that all hinges on you being able to first take the shot. So like, I mean, if we put in Junto Nakatani across the ring, or we move up to 126, we have Espinosa. Is Inoue taking that shot? I mean, that's when it's going to start to get a little bit dicey, in my opinion. Like, is he going to be able to take the shot? And I don't know the answer to that. It's one of the things that makes those fights intriguing.
And I think part of it also is this is one of the downsides, quote unquote downsides, for being as good as he is. Like, when you excel everywhere else, if you have one area where you're even a little bit deficient, it's really glaring. Whereas, we would probably forgive a couple flaws here and there for lower tier fighters because they're lower tier, right? We don't notice each individual flaw specifically because there's a couple of them in it. But for Inoue, it's like, it seems like he's got this one chink in the armor, and that it's easy to speculate, well, is this going to be his downfall if he fights a heavier-handed puncher? And while I do agree it's at least a little concerning, at the same time, Cardenas only hit him once with that. He was not able to find that shot again. Now, he was able to find other success in the fight, and we'll talk about his performance in a second, like extraordinarily gritty, brave performance in that spot. But Inoue paid the price for his poor defense, and he was not hit again the same way. And he would, like Isaac said, was also able to persevere through that. So I think it's definitely concerning, but I mean, we also have to think about, just due to the competition he's fighting, how many guys has he fought? And no one knew who Cardenas was, but part of that is how much coverage does these lower weight classes actually get in the mainstream? But like, how many guys has he fought that actually have the skills to test him like that, right? You typically aren't going to get better if you're crushing lower competition all the time. You have to go through adversity to realize, hey, I need to make a change here. And if he's the professional we think he is, I think he will make those adjustments, especially if he moves up another weight class. Because, like, I think you guys are right. Like, you don't want to be taking those kinds of open punches if you're moving up in weight when you're already, what is this, his fourth weight class?
Oof, started at 108, skipped 112, 115, 118. So this is fifth.
Man. Yeah. I mean, because the way he took that left hand or that hook, I mean, it was just, he stepped into it fully as well. It's just, it's one of those things that it's gonna be talked about whenever he gets these like these superstar fights, like Nakatani, Espinoza, maybe even a Ball. I mean, that's gonna be one of the big questions that's gonna be brought up. Whenever they're doing the analysis prior to the fight, they're gonna be showing clips of Inoue getting hit with that shot. So I mean, he's not an idiot either. I mean, Inoue is gonna make adjustments. He knows, like at these, if he goes up a weight class, he's gonna have to be a little bit more careful. But it's just, I mean, it makes it interesting. It makes it more interesting, seeing that he has this chink in his armor.
The one reason I make a big deal about it is MJ Akhmadaliev has the same trainer as Cardenas. So the MJ team has a fight's worth of experience with Inoue now, and MJ, whatever his other faults might be, he's definitely a step above Cardenas.
That's actually like pretty big, like having someone that actually fought Inoue. Like MJ's gonna be able to spar with Cardenas, like pretty consistently in that fight camp.
Yep.
And that's gonna be like super, super useful information for MJ to take in. I mean, I still think Inoue wins, but I mean that makes the fight a little bit more interesting now that I know that.
Yeah, I definitely have Inoue still winning. Go on.
I think you would also hope that MJ takes a note, of Cardenas' bravery, who I think we really have to give props for, right? Like he was like 1,000 to 1, or some insane. It wasn't that big, but it was some insane margin that he had. Like, if you had bet $100 on Cardenas to win that fight, you would have, paid generational wealth. That's how big the odds were in Vegas. And he comes out of nowhere and knocks possibly the pound for pound boxer in the world down in the second round. And I mean, he, wait, excuse me, was that a first round knockdown? Or I forgot. Second. Okay, I was right. But he gets that early, and I mean, even when Inoue turns the tables on him, I mean, just he did a lot of really good work. One thing I thought, like just from a technical side, there was one moment I think in the 7th round where Inoue was starting to batter him, and just with feints and footwork, he was able to work his back. He had his back on the ropes. He was able to push Inoue to the center of the ring and get himself into a position to start landing body shots and like hooks upstairs, and was able to really turn the tables on Inoue for a second. And it's like, that's not just, skills, right? Like you gotta be a brave motherfucker to do that. And so you really have to tip your cap to him for like, he came to fight.
Yeah. I mean, just despite losing, this was about as close as you can get to a win, like without actually winning. I mean, his stock skyrocketed after this. I mean, he's going to get paychecks after this 100%. I mean, they know he will bring a good fight. I mean, Cardenas, he knew the odds. He knew what Vegas was saying about him, and he came to like screw all of that up. He came to win. He did not come to lay down. And I mean, we got to give him props for that, because I mean, it made for an incredible fight.
A lot of guys
literally made the weekend.
It did, yeah. It made the weekend. Just a lot of guys who come in to step in with Inoue, they're defeated before they even get in the ring. It's pathetic the way sometimes like they shouldn't say pathetic. If you step into a boxing ring, like you're a braver man than me, but like, man, just the way that some people kind of fold to the moment, and Cardenas did absolutely not, just refused to quit. It was a really awe-inspiring to see someone step up to pound for pound guy level talent, and go for it, not just try to survive.
Yeah. I mean, incredible performance from Cardenas too. I mean, it takes two to tango, and I mean, I think Inoue gave like super high respects to Cardenas after the fight. I mean, I don't know if Inoue expected that much resistance, but I think Inoue definitely left that ring with like a greater respect for Cardenas after that fight.
I think on B-sides, Josh put it, you might know him as Frost Blooper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said before the fight, it was Cardenas is a good title challenger, a very worthy title challenger, but he's not going to look all that great because it's Inoue. And man, that got turned on its head, even though he lost.
Yeah, I mean, I can say this. I mean, I would definitely be watching Cardenas fights from now on.
Yeah. Pro Box good.
Yeah,
Pro
and I
Box,
mean,
they feasting.
I know Top Rank is getting, or seems to be getting out of the boxing business, but if they are going to stick around, and if they have any sense, they'll make sure they put Cardenas on some headline cards after that.
Yeah. 100%.
Oof. Anything more for Inoue?
Thank you, Inoue. Thank you.
And thank you, Cardenas.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Takes two to tango, and there was they both played their part.
Support for this episode is from Ramen Bay. Ever have that ramen craving hit hard? You know the feeling. Sometimes you want that rich, savory broth and those perfectly chewy noodles, but you don't have time for all the fuss. Well, say hello to Ramen Bay. They've taken the best ingredients for ramen and freeze-dried them for ultimate convenience and incredible flavor. Imagine vibrant vegetables, flavorful proteins, and aromatic seasonings, all ready to rehydrate into a bowl of pure satisfaction. No chopping or long simmering, just add hot water and a healthy spritz of Ramen Bay. Because the ingredients are freeze-dried and vacuum sealed, they lock in taste, giving you a quick and easy meal that doesn't compromise on quality or flavor. So, the next time the ramen urge hits, don't forget Ramen Bay. It's your new, not-so-secret ingredient to a delicious, hassle-free situationship anytime. Hit up the Bay for ramen and chill at ramen.lvx.be or use code LVX10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off every order and help us out a little bit when you do. That's Ramen Bay. ramen.lvx.be. You ever feel like your online life isn't really yours? Like every email, every single click is being watched and sold to the highest bidder? It's time to take back your privacy with Proton Mail. You don't have to be hiding something to want privacy, and privacy is worth paying for. That's where Proton Mail comes in. No data mining, no targeted ads, no bullshit, just secure, private communication. Proton Mail is more than just email, though. I personally have the Proton Unlimited subscription. This has VPN, secure cloud storage, and encrypted calendars, and this one has saved me so many headaches. A password manager that keeps all your stuff in order. One secure platform, total peace of mind. Go to proton.lvx.be and get 1 month free when you sign up. Oh man, speaking of two to tango, Islam Makhachev, he vacates his lightweight title and he's moving up to welterweight to fight Jack Della Maddalena.
Dude, I'm hyped.
Yeah, does he have, like, how bad is this? Like a really bad mismatch, or is this just slightly favoring Islam because we don't know how he is at welterweight? What's going on?
I think it's gonna make for a pretty good fight. This is a 15-pound difference. We know Islam is gonna be like easily make the 170-pound weight limit. We know that weight cut for him at 155 is pretty hard. But man, I don't know, man. I mean, JDM, his takedown defense, which we'll talk about later on whenever we recap the fight. But man, his takedown defense is good. I feel like Islam might actually struggle a little bit with the size. You know, the size in combination with JDM's skills, it could be difficult. But I'm actually pretty excited for this fight.
Yeah, this is pretty. Wait, hold on. We haven't talked about. I'll save my JDM thoughts for when we get to the 315 recap. But this is a really awesome fight. It does suck a little bit that it's not Islam versus Topuria, but I think there's a very real chance we'll get that anyway. I don't think Islam is going to stay at 175, win or lose. But I mean, yeah, this is also I think it is right that Islam is giving up his belt here, right? Like he's not holding up the
Yes.
division. He's
Yes.
letting things proceed. Like I fully support his move if that's what he wants to do, so long as he's not keeping everyone else like in gridlock. So I'm looking forward to the fight. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of Topuria, he's going to be fighting Charles Oliveira for the vacant title. The memes are already starting to come up, like me offing myself when Topuria knocks out another one of my favorites.
Yeah, they were already comparing him to Stalin, like knocking out Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira. Yeah, I mean, this could be him splattering Oliveira, would actually be pretty rough to watch, but there's a real chance for it, man. There's a real chance.
I know we're ways off from like official predictions, but I do think Topuria is going to splatter him. Like,
Yeah,
just the fact that like Charles gets hurt in every fight he is in, and we often laud his recovery. I'm not trying to bash Charles, but like I've never seen Topuria get someone on the ropes and not put them away. So I think he's going to be like the Holloway fight. He's going to get a TKO here.
it's like the whole thing as well. Like Charles, like he gets hurt by like, you know, the Justin Gaethjes, the Michael Chandlers, like, and they're like mongs. Topuria is like the educated striker. Like if he hurts you, I feel like you're screwed. So I think Topuria might lay him out. Maybe not like out cold, but like a ref stoppage or something along those lines. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm actually pretty excited for this. I am so glad it is not for an interim title. So glad.
Isn't Charles's MO like he needs to be activated with some serious damage in like the first round?
Yeah,
that's
but
basically
man,
how his fights go.
That's
If he-
highly inadvisable.
yeah, if you want to risk taking a punch by Ilya, man, that's. I mean, we know he has power at this division, so. And plus, I mean, the weight cut is going to be much easier for Topuria now. So, I mean, it's interesting. I think if we see some scrambles on the ground, it could be pretty cool as well. Topuria fighting off some submission threats by Charles, but if on the feet, I feel like Topuria has a big advantage.
Don't remember who it was. Somebody said that I've been brain rot from MMA slop because I had said Topuria has. This was before we saw Brian Norman and Stanionis against Boots, but I was saying that like Topuria probably can hang with the 147 champs.
Oh yeah, that was RGF.
Yeah, that's right.
That Nathan had contaminated your mind.
Yeah, with Stanionis looking the way he did, Mario Barrios, I stand by that one, but Brian Norman, yeah, maybe not so much anymore. Gonna have to walk that one back a little bit. Still, he would have success.
I mean, yeah, especially in the octagon, like just the way he's been able to implement like a real pure boxing approach, but he's totally blended it with his wrestling. Like it really is impressive. And he didn't even start out a boxer. That's the most impressive part. Like he was a pure Greco-Roman wrestler, had that shit down, and then got like damn good boxing skills. And you see it like really in his footwork. That's what you don't see with hardly any MMA quote unquote boxers, is like their footwork is all over the place. But Topuria is like, I mean, the Holloway, I mean the Volk one too, that's harder one to watch for me, but the Holloway knockout where he just steps in perfectly right inside and he's just torquing his whole body around that hook. I mean, that's elite boxing skills.
Yeah. Very good footwork.
I'm afraid this is it for Charles. I think the one, like, this is his last title shot. He's probably not going to get another one after this. It's unfortunate.
I mean, he'll still be involved, but yeah, as far as title shots go, I don't know. But we do need Topuria to win because if he wins, we could potentially get a bigger version of Ilya versus Islam. So we do need Ilya to win here.
Would UFC do a catch weight? Just because the jump to welterweight is pretty big.
They've done it before. I think Topuria would demand a lot more money from the UFC in that case, which may make the fight like prohibitively expensive. But I mean, they've done it before.
I feel like Islam will probably move back down after taking on JDM, even if he wins the title. We really could just get like an Islam, like wins the title and then immediately vacates. Because I mean, I doubt he's gonna fight the likes of like Shavkat or Ian Gary, Sean Brady. There's no way he's sticking around for those names.
Co-main to this is Pantoja versus Kai Kara France.
Big, fresh matchup as well. This is gonna be a war. I feel like a very fun fight for however long it lasts.
How long has it been since their first fight?
Have they fought?
Yeah, this is a rematch.
Oh damn!
But like not in some time. 2016. So I mean, almost a decade ago. I mean, so it's basically a new fight.
Damn. So yeah, I mean, they're completely different fighters from that point, or from 2016 or whatever it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude, I feel like this could be a really fun fight. And like, I mean, we had already talked about how we suspected it was going to be this fight, just because as far as like fresh matchups go, this is probably the freshest at flyweight. But yeah, it's a very fun matchup. I think it'll be a good co-main.
It also may be the last chance for Pantoja to like have an exciting fight in his career, like genuinely, like because if he whips KKF like as dominantly as he's won his last couple, like I mean, there's no one anywhere around this division that's gonna like even make him sweat.
Yeah,
so, this is it.
Yeah, I feel like if if Kai Kara France fails, I think UFC is just gonna have to be. They might have to go like back through some of the fights. Like they might have to do like a Moreno fight, which would be like what the third or fourth time they fought. They have Cop as well. Is maybe one that they're looking forward to, but yeah. I mean, I think UFC likes Pantoja, but I think they would prefer if they had a fresh champion.
At this point, I would imagine they would.
Yeah. Because I think Pantoja said he's not even interested in moving up to 135 either. So it's either he retires or someone's gonna have to take away this belt from him like by force, and that's getting increasingly difficult.
Demetrius Johnson comes out of retirement.
Come back.
That would actually be awesome, but I think DJ is like he's very like seems very content with his combat sports career, and he doesn't seem like there's any desire to get back in. And I mean, if that's his mentality now, I would prefer it to stay that way at the expense of a good fight. Like we don't need him getting back into the sport for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting back to the sport for the wrong reasons, Conor McGregor versus Paul Hughes? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this headline?
Dude, so after the fight that Paul Hughes had with Usman Nurmagomedov, I forget the exact date, but after that fight, you know, they were real friendly. There was a lot of respect shown between camps. And Paul Hughes said that, you know, anytime that they wanted to come train in Ireland, that they were going to be welcomed and they were going to like be received like in open arms.
Yeah, of course.
To be treated well. I mean, it's purely like respect. And Usman said as much to Paul Hughes in regards to, you know, Hughes coming over to Dagestan to train as well. But obviously McGregor has an immense amount of beef with that Dagestani team, originating with Khabib. So McGregor went on this rant online saying that Paul Hughes is like a sellout. He's, you know, he's not a true Irishman. He bent the knee. I think McGregor was laughing at the fact that he lost as well. So yeah, I mean, it was like a lot of name calling, and then Paul Hughes, it was sort of hard for him. Like he had mentioned that McGregor was someone that he had looked up to, as like the prominent Irish MMA figure in his life growing up. It's someone that he looked up to, and now he's being publicly shamed for respecting his opponent. So Paul Hughes just had said that McGregor had like a massive collapse in character, from what he was in the past. So I mean, there's a lot of beef there, and it sort of continues. It's not as bad as it was immediately after the Usman fight, but there's like two different types of Irish fans, and it's like the ones who stick with Paul Hughes, and then the ones who still rock with McGregor. But I doubt there's much overlap now between those two.
Almost like a Joshua versus Fury split in the UK.
Yeah. It seemed like a lot more people were agreeing with Hughes, though. Just like, I mean, because like the changes in McGregor have been super clear. Like I think to the general public that, I mean, there's been a shift in who he is as a person. I mean, he doesn't fight obviously anymore. But Hughes is, I feel like at this point, Paul Hughes is probably one of, if not the best representation of Ireland on the global MMA stage. The only other one that can maybe come close is Ian Gary, just because he's pretty high up in the UFC welterweight rankings as well.
How much further
I'll never
does
forgive
McGregor have to fall? Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna say I'm never gonna forgive Floyd Mayweather for making that McGregor fight possible, because if he had just not allowed that to happen, we might be looking at McGregor in a different light. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he would have gotten out of. I mean, his personality is corrosive to himself and the people around him, but I think he would have stayed in the UFC a lot longer than he did. We probably would have gotten a lot more out of him, and he'd probably be a happy person if he never went down that path of like, oh, I can make $60 million in one night. Like, why do I need to do anything else in my life or anything productive?
Yeah, we could have maybe seen Michael Chandler versus McGregor. Maybe keep dangling that carrot in front of him. That shit is still so hilarious that Michael Chandler is still waiting.
Perpetual cuck, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hate to see it.
Anything more for Paul Hughes? All right. Into some... Hold on a second. Do I want to do that now? No, I don't. Into the recaps really quickly. Friday fights 107 from 1FC on May 9th. You don't have to... I'm just going to keep reminding you that these happen every Friday. There was a lot of fun knockouts on here again. So keep your eye out for any more that come up. It's Friday morning in the US. I think this starts at 5:30 on the West Coast in the morning. So you're getting ready for work or whatever, just throw it on in the background and it'll be fun while it lasts anyway. Now, speaking of Paul Hughes, PFL 2025 Euro season, headlined by Paul Hughes getting a fucking majorly quick stoppage over Miranda. So that's fun.
Dude, this went incredibly viral online. There was a lot of there was a lot of talk about the PFL just because there was no way for United States or the United States audience to view it, through the Zone or another broadcaster.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, PFL was really stupid.
Region locking themselves.
And the hilarious part was after the fight, Don Davis came out saying that, for future fights, now we're gonna have a broadcaster in the U.S. So it's bro, I mean, you just missed out on this massive opportunity. Yes, the Europeans were able to see it. It was super viral. Paul Hughes, the incredible knockout that he got over Miranda. It was like sub 1 minute. I mean, just blasted him out of there. The Europeans enjoyed it, but I mean, you want to be able to get as many people to watch your fighter as possible. I mean, this is a star that you had. Like, Paul Hughes could be a genuine star, and not just like in PFL, but like in MMA in general. And I mean, they're cutting off their own arm. Like, I mean, they're not allowing the maximum audience to see their fighters. I mean, this just seems like basic stuff that PFL is screwing up. But I mean, holy shit, man! The credit to Paul Hughes. Great fighter. This dude's a star. This is a star. We need to see that Usman fight, the rematch. That needs to be booked immediately.
And that's such a crazy like blunder to have, because like you said, it is so common sense. Like, why are you region locking your fights? Because like, especially if you're a service like PFL and you're trying to compete with UFC and you are desperately needing like early user adoption, right? It's like moments like that, right? The American broadcast probably would not have it definitely wouldn't have gotten like 1 million viewers, right? Like, that was never going to happen. But like, the subset of people that would have watched, right, even if it was in like the tens of thousands, those people are probably going to be hooked if they see that Hughes fight live and like, damn, I need to make sure I tune into PFL next time this guy fights, and I'm going to go tell my friends about it. Like, that's how you grow a user base, in a market, right? And it's like, it's a completely missed opportunity, even though it goes viral after the fact. Like, that's different than seeing something in person before you've seen the headline, right? That's how you make a fan out of someone, is when you catch a fight like that live.
Yeah, I mean, you get attached to fighters. You get attached to fighters seeing stuff like that. And I mean, like you said, it's stuff that like you almost think you have to be trying to mess it up in order to mess it up, because like you could grab someone off the street and ask them, do you think, this should be like region locked? And they would say no. Like, I don't understand what the thought process even was behind that. I mean, if you can't, I mean, I don't know. I mean, put that shit on YouTube or something. I mean, it's crazy.
You know what it was is that the people who run the PFL are businessmen, and they're like, they look at it as probably numbers on a spreadsheet, and they're like, well, this guy's not from this area, so no one's going to know him. So why am I going to spend the money in broadcasting rights to put it on the US, right? So I totally guarantee you it's a numbers thing. But like, the thing about fighting is that your stars are international, right? They hail from one country or the other, but you make it big once you're known internationally. So it's like the idea that they wouldn't allow their fighters to get that kind of acclaim. It's like you're like capping your own product.
Yeah, I mean, this is stuff that like fighters that are coming up to the regional circuit. Let's say, there's like a hot prospect coming up. Like, if they see this stuff, they're not going to want to sign with PFL. They're just not going to want to. I mean, because like, I'm not being promoted like I should be. I mean, it's simple, but it's PFL are somehow messing it up. I don't know what to say about it anymore. It's just it's so crazy, so crazy.
Makes me wonder. Did PFL, like, the analogy that came to mind as I was hearing you guys talk about it is, did PFL cut off their arm trying to save their hand because they don't want somebody to snipe Hughes from them?
Yeah, I mean, dude, maybe, but PFL's losing fighters already.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're gonna continue to do so unless, I mean, at this point, I feel like it's too late. It's too late. But I mean, at least show that you're trying. I mean, I don't know. It is hilarious to watch from the outside, but I do feel for the fighters.
Yeah, definitely. Go wherever's gonna get you paid.
Yeah,
that's what matters. Oh, I misread that. Shall we move on to UFC 315?
Yeah.
Anything in the early prelims?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Got some hella knockouts.
Yeah. So the opening fights were low key fire. I think Nathan was in there with me whenever we were watching them. The first fight, Beksat Almakhan versus Brad Katona, man. This was so fast. But Beksat, I think was it Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan? I think it was Uzbekistan. Dude, he blasted Brad out of there. It was insane. And then let's see, the Santos versus Lee fight was a fun back and forth. And then the one to cap it off, Marc-Andre Barriault and Bruno Silva. Dude, Silva got killed. Silva got killed. Yeah, it was insane. I think I was watching it in slow-mo as well, like after the clips made it online. And there was like an indentation on his skull from an elbow from Barriault. I mean, this is like one of those fights you need to take as a warning and retire. Like, this is bad. He's like on a five loss streak now. This is a sign, man. It's time to hang him up.
If I click enter on this Google search and I find out that Bruno Silva hasn't been cut, like, that's malpractice from the UFC. Oh, thank God they did release him. Okay, good.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. That's good.
They did release him?
They did release him 3 days ago.
Oh.
But for his own good. But it is funny, like, kind of previewing this card, we were looking at this and like, oh, dude, this is like bottom of the barrel slop here. And like we were joking about, like, the meme is true. Like, some of the worst cards on paper end up having the best fights. Like, this early prelims was just like an appetizer. The rest of the card ended up being really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving up into the prelims. Oh, it's only 2 stoppages. Only. Yasmin Yazdavicius stops Jessica Andrade to move up the rankings. Submission in the first. Congrats.
Yeah, it was really fast. Really, really fast.
And Mike Mallet, KO2 over Charles Radke.
All right, we got to stop here because this was also an insane KO. There's this one, like, GIF that I was seeing circulate because, like, Radke gets dropped, like, pretty bad. Honestly, like, the ref could have stopped it, like, immediately after he got dropped because Radke did not know where he was, even though he was covering up. But there's like, this one GIF where Malott is just, like, dribbling Radke's head off the canvas repeatedly. And, I mean, it's super brutal. Super brutal. I mean, an incredible KO. Mike Malott, I mean, massive win at home. Massive win at home. We were talking about how he's, fought in Canada a bunch. And, man, this was a great performance from him. Like, this is a separate performance that's going to get the UFC to, like, maybe nudge you in the right direction.
Moving up. Benoit Saint-Denis submits his late replacement opponent in the second. I don't know how I feel about it, given that it was like a week's notice.
Yeah, I mean, we went from, what was it? He was supposed to fight Joel Alvarez, who was, I mean, I think now he's moving to welterweight, but at the time he was like a pretty highly touted lightweight fighter. To Kyle Prolik, who I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard about. So, I mean, it's a win, but BSD needs to be fighting better competition, being a ranked fighter. We'll let
out
it
of his control, though. To be fair, out of his control. Yeah. They had to keep his ass on the card.
Dude, did you guys see that he had staph again?
Yeah. It's a nasty.
They need to move out of France, bro. Something's going on. Like, this is multiple fights now. Like, you would think that, like, he says it screwed up his performance versus Poirier. So, like, surely you're going to be doing everything in your power, to make sure that doesn't happen again. But, I mean, this dude was about to fight Joel Alvarez with staph. I mean, this is crazy. They need to start washing those mats.
Yeah, definitely. Gross. Natalia Silva. Alexa Grasso.
Sad fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what went wrong here?
Grasso
Alexa
just
Grasso.
or go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, I was gonna say she got outclassed, man. Silva just sort of dominated her on the feet. Like there was not much. I mean, Alexa was trying, but it's like, I mean, she just couldn't solve the puzzle in front of her. Silva had like, that. I mean, almost sort of like a Cuban, but like a little bit more effective. Just like movement around the octagon and like picking her shots. I mean, she was throwing full combinations as well. It's not just like one shot and then continue to circle. I mean, Alexa just got really dominated here. I mean, her face was busted up. There was a few shots that she landed, but I mean, you can just call this a domination by Silva. And like I was worried about it too because Silva is a pretty big like prospect coming up. She's super well rounded, and man, we saw that at Montreal UFC 315.
Yeah, I think what was kind of, it's like, why is Grasso getting pieced up? And when she had 3 fights versus Shevchenko. Like, that didn't compute to me at first, but like looking at it after the fact, it's like, well, the reason she had success in those fights was because she used her physicality and her strength, right, to even the fight, and she wasn't able to do that at all. Like you said, the footwork was like, she was not able to close the distance at all at that. And I mean, maybe over the course of 5 rounds, there could have been a difference, but when you only got 3, you got to figure your opponent out quick, and she was unable to.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing the first round, I was thinking like Alexa already has to sort of go all in and just try to get, a hook connected or something. Because I mean, it was clear to me that she was not going to be able to outstrike Silva. But I mean, yeah, it's sort of weird seeing it. I mean, like you said, she had 2 really good performances versus Shevchenko, but I don't know. Maybe the hunger's not there anymore. I don't know. Either that or an off night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, is if it seemed like an off night or if this is the end of Alexa Grasso at the top.
Yeah, I mean, Silva is really good. It's not like Grasso didn't lose to a can or anything like that. But I mean, when it comes to competing at like the top level of this division, Grasso maybe, if she wants to stay in the UFC, it might be more like, that rank 3 to 5, and you're sort of just like gatekeeping. I don't know.
Moving up, Ayman Zahabi retires Jose Aldo.
Robs Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Another way to put it.
I was pretty certain that Aldo had that in the bag. Even with like the nasty elbows at the end there, it was like too little too late, buddy. He's been in control for the majority of the fight. Are they just sapping all they can out of Aldo before they send him on his way? Well, try to sap as much out of him.
They could have done better matchups with Aldo 100%. Like we could have been seeing Aldo versus Cruz. Probably would have been one of the best ones to see. But I mean, it was it's sort of a wild fight. Like in the 3rd round, what was it? Zahabi almost got knocked out. Wasn't he like Aldo straight up soccer kicked him?
Yeah,
like it was legal. His hands weren't touching.
Yeah,
but I have no idea how he survived that. By the way, that was incredible resilience by Zahabi. But yeah, man, rip Aldo. It seems like this time the retirement might actually be for real.
Valentina Shevchenko defends her title. Manon Fiorot, I think they were saying it is.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on in this one. It was Shevchenko doing Shevchenko things and just wipe the floor with Fiorot. This was not competitive in the least. It was a very clinical performance.
Yeah, dude, Manon got busted up immediately. That nose was leaking super early in the fight. Yeah, nothing too crazy in this fight.
I don't know if it's a good segue. Speaking of nothing too crazy, Jack Della Maddalena takes the title off Bilal Muhammad. I say nothing too crazy because it was it was a pretty clinical performance from JDM. I think did everything better, and it didn't seem like Bilal had a lot of answers for what JDM put in front of him.
Yeah, I scored this one 3-2 to JDM. I think you could even do maybe a 4-1 JDM. Could be legit. But yeah, this is just, man, Madalena's striking in combination with this takedown defense. Just, I mean, pure cinema. Pure cinema from JDM. Bilal.
Yep. Bro was hitting flow state in the fifth round.
Yeah. Bilal sold, man. We could have been seeing Ilya versus Islam. That matchup would have been already made for International Fight Week if Bilal would have won. But credit to JDM, man. He showed up. He put a beating on Bilal. Credit to Bilal as well, because Bilal, he actually he didn't give up. He continued to try just to sit there and strike with JDM whenever he saw the takedowns weren't working as much. He showed some dog.
Although he did unfortunately show some pretty low fight IQ as well. And really around those takedowns, right? He coming into this fight, he had a quote where he's like, I'm going to stand with JDM. I'm going to show him my, quote unquote Canelo hands, right? Because he thinks he's as good of a boxer as Canelo Alvarez. Like, okay, sure, buddy. And so I read that and I'm like most normal people probably think, oh, this is just bluster. Bro's going to be shooting takedowns all fight. Well, turns out for most of the first half of the fight, I don't think he shot once, maybe one takedown. But he did not lean on that at all. And, I mean, then he's, behind, right? You get to the third round, and it's like, oh, shit. Jack's hitting his stride here. And it's like, I got to catch up now. And it's like, it's too late to wrestle. And not only that, JDM, because, he had all his energy, right? He fought at his pace, wasn't worn down. And when the wrestling finally did come, he was able to spring back up out of the... out of the position, which, I mean, shows how good his defensive wrestling is if you're able to do that. I mean, that's really impressive. But then another twist to this, though, is when you look ahead to the Islam fight, I think JDM has got good takedown defense. He's got good footwork and a striking style to make the takedown hard to get in range for. But would this have been a much different fight if Bilal shot from the first 5 seconds? Islam probably will. Islam will want to wrestle with JDM. He's not going to want to stand up and strike with the taller, longer guy like that. So in a way, Bilal, even though he lost, has provided a really intriguing matchup because now we have things about JDM we're not sure about because Bilal didn't test him there. Yeah.
I think it set up the Islam fight really nicely. The UFC is going to have no issue promoting that fight. We know what exactly, on paper at least, we know what it's going to look like. Like you said, Islam's going to try to wrestle, but JDM's big, man. JDM's a natural 170 pounder. He's big. His combinations are super diverse. The angles, he's throwing from every direction. It's he has power, obviously. It's rough, man. I'm really excited to see the matchup with Islam. But yeah, going back to the Bilal thing, though, man, whenever people say that, I'm not gonna throw a takedown, we're gonna keep it on the feet. Normally, in the first round, they still shoot. But Bilal, he just he was dead set on just striking. I guess he fully thought that his striking was on a different level. I was thinking the second round or beginning of the third that he was going to try to go heavy into the takedowns, but man, he really committed to the bit.
Canelo hands.
Yeah.
What?
Dude, there was actually that just reminded me. There was one moment I think in the 5th round where JDM goes for a takedown, something like that, and I was like, man, this is crazy. JDM's willingly putting himself into Bilal's world, and nothing bad happened, obviously, but that just showed like a slight lapse of judgment from JDM when it comes to like fight IQ. It was funny to see.
Yeah, bro can't be doing that against Islam. Like, do not shoot a takedown against Islam.
Yeah. He's gonna get Bobby greened if he tries to do that.
You know, another piece of kind of like insane MMA quotes I saw in the lead up to this fight was from ESPN. They ran an article. It may have been an ESPN Plus exclusive, but it was something like, it was some article. I can't remember the title, but it was positing like how far away is Bilal's welterweight legacy from GSP. Like, will he have a career to rival GSP? Is that how his title reign is going to go? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy work. Bilal, like, he didn't even get a defense in.
No,
like he won the title, but he did not even get a defense.
And like a total like decision merchant up until he got his title too. Like, why the hell are you comparing him to GSP?
Yeah, I mean, this early on is sort of insane. Like, I mean, you'd be more likely to see that with like Leon prior to the Bilal fight, just because he actually had some defenses racked up. But man, first defense and you're already comparing him? Come on.
Gross. Why? You think, was that like rage bait? You think that's what that was, to compare Bilal Muhammad to GSP?
It might be just to like get views or something like that. Yeah. Maybe.
I guess since also the ESPN is getting out of the UFC business, I actually do believe that, because that is like a deeply unserious question to ask.
Yeah.
It is. Anything more for 315?
But I'd say for what it was, and for what like we thought it was going to be prior to the actual event, UFC 315 was actually pretty cool. Like there were some good fights on there, good moments. And yeah, we have some future prospects now with JDM winning.
You think I should start doing like a fucking when we get back kind of thing, or like we're gonna take a quick break? 'Cause I usually just cut some noise in and throw the shit in, but I don't know.
Oh, like between topics?
Yeah, like at different segments, do cutoffs.
Like next time on Dragon Ball Z or something like that?
Kind of, but it's later in the program.
I guess like maybe switching between like reviews and previews.
That's the usual spot that I have it.
Yeah. Like the major switches, maybe.
Hey, did you know that our little bee buddies are having a bit of a tough time recently? They're really important for so much of our food. Without any bees, we're going to have a lot less yummy stuff. The good news is that you can help the bees while also helping us. Support for this episode is from Project Honeybees. Every purchase adopts a queen bee, who will have her own colony if she doesn't already have one, and she'll be kept in a sanctuary in various places around the world. My adopted queen, who I named Queen Spider, she was found in a restaurant trash bin out back, but the name Queen Spider, that's a story for another time. So if you want to be a bee hero, would that be Beero? Check out bees.lvx.be and get a look at all the lovely gift ideas. There's bracelets, necklaces, earrings, a lot of jewelry stuff. Use code LEO33862 at checkout to help keep the bees buzzing. Buzz, buzz, motherfuckers. Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. In today's digital world, threats are everywhere. From sneaky spyware to intrusive viruses, your computers and mobile devices are constantly at risk. Losing your personal data, financial information, or even having your device held ransom is a nightmare no one wants to face. And that's why you need to look at Malwarebytes. It's the ultimate shield for digital life. Malwarebytes provides powerful, real-time antivirus and anti-malware protection, keeping computers and smartphones safe from the latest threats. For those with 10 or more devices, Malwarebytes has you covered. From laptops and tablets to smartphones, Malwarebytes family plans provide comprehensive protection you can trust. Don't wait until it's too late. Secure your digital world with Malwarebytes and get the peace of mind you deserve, knowing that your data and your devices are safe. Go to mwb.lvx.be and get 50% off your subscription today. Here's a little hint, you can reuse that code later down the line with a new account. Keep saving for yourself and help us out a little bit too in the process. All right, into the previews. Friday, May 23rd. One Friday fights. They keep happening, and I'm going to keep telling you about them. So enjoy that. In fact, you should enjoy that, because otherwise there's nothing else that you're going to be watching. So you can either plan, I don't know, maybe go get into a fishing tournament and get your ass beat by Nathan. I don't know if that's a good pastime.
Would you like to explain why there's no other fights to preview?
What? Wait, what happened? That's right. PFL was supposed to happen. PFL Europe. But that shit just got canceled. Tickets refunded. The whole shebang. So that raises the question, is PFL dead? Is this like officially the beginning of the end?
I said that, within the next 2 years, we could see like PFL not be a thing anymore. And I think you guys are right. That might be a little bit optimistic.
Yeah.
It might come as soon as 2026.
Between like the Paul Hughes blunder and a whole event outright being canceled, like literally a week and a half before. And not only that, I think it's okay to move this up. One of their guys, Patchy Mix, signs with the UFC, right? So there's another fighter gone out of the PFL roster that could be helping you establish yourself in the fight game, and he's gone. He's in the UFC's clutches now, and it's from nothing other than the PFL's inability to put a fight together, or apparently pay anyone now.
Yeah, this is just a complete disaster. I think it was within the past 2 years, they had like a pretty major investment from the Saudis, I believe. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was like around the same. Yeah, it was around the same time when Ngannou got signed. Pretty major investment, but man, they just really have not done anything. They purchased Bellator, but what have they really done with that? A lot of the fighters that were in Bellator were, clamoring for a fight or to be scheduled for a fight, and some of them still haven't been matched up or they've been released. UFC have signed a few of the fighters that were, online begging for fights. Pitbull being one of them. We mentioned Patchy. Kayla Harrison's no longer there. There's a few others I'm forgetting for sure. But man, let's just go through, like, as far as PFL goes. Like, I am interested in a few of the things. There's a few things. So like one of them is definitely the next Ngannou fight. Ngannou has one fight in his contract with PFL left. So obviously, we'll be there to watch that. There's the Paul Hughes, Usman Nurmagomedov rematch. I'd definitely tune in for that. And then Dakota Ditchell fights. And I'm trying to think of anything else. And I guess Cedric Doumbé. Oh yeah, Jake Paul. He's apparently with PFL, but we haven't really seen anything on that front yet.
Yeah. And you may even have to throw out the Ngannou fight because of like the personal tragedy stuff that's happened to him.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like true, that may retire him from the sport. We just don't know yet.
Yeah, they've just got so little going for them, and like what little they do have, they're managing to mess up. So it's I don't know. I'm hoping they don't mess up any career, like, beyond repair. Like, I'm hoping they can get Dakota Ditchell some fights, remain active. She can fight out her contract and then potentially move over to the UFC. But man, it's just been everything's been going wrong over there.
disappointment. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the last 2025. They region locked the Middle East, North Africa one as well. So like, there's no way to watch their stuff. PFL Africa was supposed to launch this year. That's been crickets. I don't know what they're doing. It's hard to feel positive about what might be on their horizon when all we see is more and more people jumping ship.
Yeah. God, you want to see something tragic is this if you go on the PFL website and you look at the schedule, they have like their Super Fights pay-per-view, which is supposed to be like this is our best product on the biggest stage. They have 2 events in 2024 and nothing scheduled for upcoming. Like, you click the upcoming tab and it says there's nothing here in parentheses yet with a little exclamation point. Like, dog, there ain't gonna be fucking shit coming out here.
No, there is not.
Damn.
Oh, the PFL Champion Series continues July 26th.
I just get so confused with that because like they have like the Bellator champions that came over, and I mean, like, some of them haven't gotten fights, but like, because PFL had their own champion, like they had their own division like champions. Like, I'm just so confused as to how it works, because like it seems like they have like tournament champions and then like PFL champ. Like it's just so confusing how it works. Like it's like they're doing too much.
From what I understand, tournament winners are supposed to be elevated into the Champion Series, and then they can start competing for the belt in like a traditional sort of ladder, the way like UFC runs, for example.
But it's after getting past like the bracket.
Yeah, you have to win. You have to win the bracket. Maybe if you come in second place, I don't know. But like Ditcheva is supposed to be in the Champion Series at this point.
Oh, okay, I see.
And just talking through that, this is maybe sort of an aside, but like, I've always found it humorous that like sports heads who aren't really involved with fighting, like they're mega casuals, they always talk about how like boxing in particular is like unviable, and if they had the ability to run things, they would make like some kind of tournament series, and they'd make people fight 3 to 4 times a year, and they would but when we sort of see it in practice in the PFL, and it's like totally convoluted and like doesn't make sense to anyone who just wants to tune in, is like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is this format? Like, and so it's just kind of funny that we finally saw in practice the PFL try something, and I mean, they can't even get their model set in a way that like makes it easy to watch, right? You got to jump through a mental calculus to figure out like, okay, well, who's who in this division? It's not just the champ. You have to like consider these other series running alongside it.
Yeah. You got to be a sicko.
There's all the complication
to keep up with.
PFL is just, it's just not managed well, man.
Can't be worse than GFL right now.
Dude, yeah, dead on arrival.
Oh, when is July 26, 2025? Johnny Eblin and Ditcheva is on that one.
Yeah, Johnny Eblin is another. That's another one of their good fighters, and I'm glad they got him a fight.
Oh no, guys! I searched up GFL in Google just to see like, hey, what the heck is happening with them? Are there any updates? And the AI overview for Google's search engine says the Global Fight League was a proposed American mixed martial arts league. So we've completely transitioned into the was.
Yep.
Past tense. Yeah. Damn. It's been hilarious seeing like stuff online about GFL, because like there's the regional MMA organization called Cage Warriors, and they had some beef online with the GFL media manager, and that shit was it was just hilarious to see like the barrage of tweets that came after GFL canceled their two events. It was hilarious.
Case Warriors is a farm league, isn't it?
Like that's where Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, so like
from.
the UK regional kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's some decent fighters that come out of there.
Anything more for PFL and its deadness?
Let go of those fighters, man.
Yeah, let these people get paid. You've been listening to The Ultimate FN Casuals, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you need to let us know how terrible you think our takes are, you can duck us and text the anonymous line at 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, send a voice message or send a voice note in WhatsApp, and we'll see if you're interesting enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUXPODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, all the rest of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. Patreon is where you can go to get ad-free episodes and other behind-the-scenes exclusives while directly supporting what we do. LVX Media Net over there just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out if you check out our ad sponsors. You can also help by giving us a rating and a review on whatever app you're listening on. And last but not least, you can also check out the merch shop. New stuff goes up all the time. Metal intros by Anders Janhunen. The trap intro and the outro are by Middle of Nowhere Beats. And for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. Man, everyone's favorite topic, Jon Jones. I'm saying it now. Jon Jones is going to vacate that belt. He's not going to fight Tom Aspinall. It's not going to happen. He's electing to prefer to fight 1v1 versus a gorilla over Tom Aspinall, which, take it as a joke if you want. He's also talking about fighting Anthony Joshua over on the boxing side of the street.
Oh, great.
Exactly. He's not fighting Tom Aspinall. He's not going to. He's going to make up any reason he can so that he doesn't have to. Price himself out, whatever the case may be. He's being a diva about it. Just say you don't want to.
Dana White continues to say that the fight will get made. I desperately hope he has some actual insight into the fight being made. Like, oh, we're close. But man, if this doesn't get made, we've gotten to the point where this actually will hurt Jon Jones' legacy. Like this is now, years. This fight has been brewing for years now. This is pretty much the equivalent of Canelo versus Benavidez, and we might be missing out on it in MMA too, which is sort of hilarious because years ago, that's one of the main things that Dana White was criticizing boxing for, was that the fights that the fans wanted to see weren't getting made. And we're in this situation now where fans have been wanting to see Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, a unification bout for years. And we've been, we wasted time with the Miocic fight. There was Jon Jones got injured, and Aspinall defended the interim belt. And then now we're in the situation where both of them have had their fights. Nothing in the future is lined up. Why isn't this fight being made? Why? And
even if it was just purely business reasons, the UFC has every incentive to put this card together. They're right about to jump ship off of ESPN and get a new rights deal with some other carrier. Don't you want to have at least one million plus view pay-per-view card? They haven't had one of those in a minute, and it's Jon Jones would do that, right? They would have gotten it if McGregor had fought Chandler, but McGregor's not fighting anymore. He's done. I just don't understand what the holdup is, right? Are they really? Is Jon Jones asking for $10 million or more dollars than the UFC is willing to give him, and them being a multi-billion-dollar company is that's too much? I don't know what the deal is. And I feel like if the UFC thought they could never get Jones, they'd just strip him and just start promoting Aspinall. That would be the better business decision. And it's like, we're still in limbo, right? We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because at this point now, we are damaging Tommy Aspinall's career. Like, he has been waiting for this fight. You know, he could have been the undisputed champion by now if they would have just stripped John Jones for refusing to fight him. And by the way, I hope that this is not like a money issue, because if I'm the UFC, like, this is a fight that if John Jones asks for $20 million, you pay him the $20 million. You're not doing these type of fights every week. Like, you know, these are like once every, you know, few years, maybe a few times a decade that you do. Like, it's pay the man. If that's all that's stopping the fight, just pay him the money. Pay him the money. I mean, this is going to be, you know, you have the entirety of the UK behind Tommy Aspinall. John Jones is a massive international figure in the MMA world. Every single fan wants to see this fight. Every single fan. And if it is just money that is preventing this fight from happening, that is actually absurd. That is actually absurd.
It could even be like an investment into Tom Aspinall.
Yes.
To pay John Jones what he is worth. And then you have, either way, like, you get a good fight out of it. And you possibly, I think, probably get a new champion that takes the shine off the old legend, who can say himself, like, I was, you know, a little bit past my prime, whatever. Good luck to Aspinall, but yeah, if you fought me in my prime, this wouldn't have happened. And you could mouth off as much as you want. I don't understand how, like, this multi-billion-dollar entity is unwilling to ensure that this happens.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes me think, like, it surely can't be the money, because I mean, come on, bro. Like, I feel like the UFC, I mean, it just seems like on paper, it just seems easy to make. Like, I'm hoping for their sake it isn't the money that is stopping this.
I hope not.
And rather that, you know, it's like just John Jones that is refusing to fight him, because, like, the UFC should be doing everything in their power to try to make this fight. But we'll see, man. I mean, this is one of those, like, must happen fights. I mean, you don't get these type of fights that often.
What if John Jones decides he wants to fight Francis Ngannou now? Would that be?
Well, he's gonna have to do that on a PFL card that's region locked.
Region lock it to Africa.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh man.
I still have faith, by the way. I still have faith. It might be blind faith, but I still have faith.
Stronger will than I do.
Yeah. I no longer believe in the Canelo Benavidez fight, but for now, I still believe in this fight.
I mean, John Jones is never beating the allegations if he doesn't take this fight.
No.
Oh, dude, like
Like-
I said, this hurts his legacy. Like, this fully hurts him when it comes to, like, GOAT debates. I mean, his lightweight or his light heavyweight resume is, like, super rock solid. But when it comes to, like, overall fighters, this hurts him, man.
There's no legacy at heavyweight. Like, he'll
Yeah.
have beaten Gon and Stipe, who he pulled out of retirement,
Corpse.
right? Like,
yeah.
what is, and I mean, like, Gon's talented, right? But he's sort of got, like, a soft sort of image, right? He's no killer, that's for sure. Or at least there's the perception of.
He's doing Netflix movies in France now. That's what he's doing now. I feel like Gon is sort of going to be out of the game soon, just because he has, like, other opportunities that seem to be paying money in France for him. You know, where he doesn't have to take punches for a living. But I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Jones's heavyweight resume is going to have the consistency of Jello, man. It's not going to be good.
God damn it, John Jones. Why do you do this?
But I was thinking about it too, because like John Jones is like, whenever he came up, he was also this like super young prospect. He was tearing through the division, and I forget, it was a fight before Shogun, but he called him out, and the UFC gave him the opportunity, and Shogun like obliged. He obliged. I mean, imagine if he would have been like John Jones is versus Aspinall. Like, he would have never gotten that opportunity to shine. And that was like his crowning moment at the start of his crowning moment at the light heavyweight division. I mean, you're sort of robbing Tom Aspinall of that same opportunity. I mean, we always talk about it in boxing, like the passing of the torch moment. And I mean, this is sort of selfish. Which, I mean, I don't know. It's a complicated situation, but this fight needs to be made. I just don't understand why it's been so long. I mean, his time to get to heavyweight took forever already, and then like we're gonna keep delaying it until we potentially never get it.
Shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything more for John Jones? Fucking all right. So we are heading into fucking a nothing weekend. It's one Friday Fights is carrying us. If I say it all the time, if you're not watching Muay Thai, you should be. If you want brutality, you should be watching. They're free. I think they're on YouTube again. They're free on One Friday Fight, the One FC website. So if you're hankering, this is all you got. PFL is dead.
Yeah, you guys got to lock in on that One FC. We got Leo versus Kameda as well.
Oh yeah, on the boxing side of the street.
Taylor versus S-Man. If you're into Brit box, but yeah, it's a light week.
Or go outside. So it's good for your brain.
Go fishing.
Good idea, Isaac. I think I'll do that.
All right. Well, if that's it, then that's it. We'll see you on the other side of this nothingness.
Into the abyss.
Later.